Hi, Poppy Yeager here with This Day in History. March 23rd, 1775. Patrick Henry declared his opposition to the British government. In an address to the Virginia Convention, he declared, "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." His words became a rallying cry of the American Revolution, a time in which the colonists stood up against a government they found oppressive and said, "We're not going to put up with this anymore. We want our freedom." We currently have a president who, in his first run for office, used the slogan, "Make America Great Again." I am convinced this man knows little, if anything, about American history. Make America Great Again was a good slogan. It was catchy. It made people pay attention. It made people say, yes, we want change. We want to be great. But what exactly did that phrase mean? When was America great? I think maybe it can be argued that there was an element of greatness back in the colonial days when we stood up and we fought for our independence against Britain. But it's important to note that in declaring that independence, there was rebellion, there was boycotting, there was protest. 10 years before Patrick Henry declared, "Give me liberty or give me death," the Stamp Act passed. The Stamp Act put a tax on certain British goods because the British government needed to find a way to pay for the standing army that was in colonial America. The colonists were pissed because they had to pay this tax and they weren't given a voice in Parliament. They had to pay a tax and they didn't have a say in it. So what did the colonists do? They set out to boycott British goods. They boycotted. They refused to buy goods that were produced by England, hoping that that was going to strangle them. Also, there were some colonists that attacked customs houses and tax collectors. I'm not saying it's right to vandalize Tesla, but let's take a look at our history. This is the history that we've always been proud of. This is the part of history that Americans hold dearly and say, look how great we were. We believed in freedom and we fought for it. Part of that freedom was fighting and attacking symbols of the oppression. Tesla, right now, which is owned by Musk, who's running Doge, is a symbol of the oppression that Trump's presidency, he's trying to oppress us. He's taking away rights, women's rights, trans rights. He's dismantling the Department of Education, probably because he doesn't want us educated, because if people don't honestly know their past, they can be fed lies. And Trump is trying to delete part of history. He's erasing references to women, African Americans, and other minorities. Our country was founded on this idea of boycotting. So go ahead, boycott Tesla, because that is just as American as anything else. After the Stamp Act was so successful that the Stamp Act was repealed. But a few years later, the Tea Act was put into place, and a tax was put on tea. The Americans, again, rebelled. They were not happy about this. So what did they do? They took the British tea and they dumped it into Boston Harbor. It was an act of rebellion. The American colonists utilized protest and boycott so successfully that when the Constitution was written and it was decided we need amendments, the right to protest was embedded in the Constitution. It got the number 1 slot. The right to bear arms only got the number 2 slot. Number 1 was the right, the freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom to assemble, all of which encompasses the right to protest. So make America great again. Protest the oppressive government that we currently have, the government that is trying to take away our rights. Protest against Musk and Tesla, because Musk is acting against everything that true Americans believe in. Anyway, that's This Day in History, March 23rd, 1775. Patrick Henry declared, "Give me liberty or give me death." A reminder to Americans that protesting is American.